Welcome to More Fanime. I'm your fan of More Anime. What's up, everybody? Today, I want to do another tournament here at More Fanime, but this will be a different kind of tournament. This isn't a battle of might. This is a battle of decisions. I've decided to give you choices in this tournament. This tournament is called the Final Straw Hat Pirate Tournament. Yes, great title, I agree. Today, I want to find out who you guys think will be the final Straw Hat crew member, because I do believe there will be one more member of the core Straw Hat crew members. Jimbei was the last member to join officially at Whole Cake, technically, and also Wano, but he is part of the Straw Hat crew, and I do believe there are more, not just Straw Hat Fleet members. No, like Bartolomeo is currently, or Cavendish, not them. I'm talking about the core gang becoming one of Luffy's commanders. Let's get right into it with round one. The first choice you have here is Bonnie, Jewelry Bonnie, who just recently re-entered the story, who has just recently really gotten to know Luffy, and a lot of people think she could be a future Straw Hat because of her eating habits. But I do not agree with that statement. And your other competitor here is Yamato, another possible member of the Straw Hat crew who everybody and your mom assumed, including Roger's base, assumed Yamato was going to join the crew. Even I assumed Yamato was an official Straw Hat, but then that chapter came out and she decided she was going to stay in Wano and protect it. The thing I wanted her to do, personally, I wanted her to stay and protect Wano. It's just a matter of time before somebody like Green Bull or somebody even worse comes that they can't defend. And having a powerful ally like Yamato, who I at this point consider a member of the Straw Hat Fleet, possible future member of the Straw Hat crew, I do believe her best option right now that she's free from her father's rule is to be the bodyguard to Wano, which is great. But here you guys believe Yamato 61%. And Bonnie only getting 39. Bonnie is out. I do not believe Bonnie will ever be a member of the Straw Hat crew. She is already technically a leader of her own crew, who I believe are all captured. But either way, she's not really a pirate to be a pirate anyway. She's more just trying to save her daddy. And I don't think that's gonna work. We don't need her on the crew. I would be shocked if she actually joined the crew. Would I be mad? No. But I just don't think she fits. We don't need another Luffy. We don't. I mean, it would be fun to see Sanji simp on her, and then her turn Sanji into an old man, and maybe we get like a Master Roshi type reference or something. But I just can't. I can't see it working. It ain't working. She is a member of the worst generation, but you know, Jimbei was a member of the Warlords, and he joined. So Yamato's moving on. Round one, Katakuri versus Foxy. So your vote here, we got Katakuri completely mopping the floor with Foxy. If you remember, Foxy made his debut sometime, let me think, at the Long Ring, Long Land arc after Skypiea. Foxy is one of the most hated characters in the entire series by the fandom. I personally love the guy. I highly recommend you go watch the Adventure on Nebulandia TV special. It's fantastic. It's on Funimation. I enjoyed it. I would buy it if I saw it in the store. I might order it. I don't know. It's a great little mini movie, little mini moment for Foxy where he does join Luffy temporarily. An alliance is formed. The greatest alliance in One Piece history. Foxy aligned himself with Luffy and the Straw Hat crew to go save their crewmates, respectively. It was a great moment seeing them work together to beat the final bad guy there. So I would be all for Foxy finding a reason to join the crew. But you guys believe Katakuri would fit better. Both of these people Both of them are former enemies of Luffy, former opponents of Luffy. I would even both of them in a way, no, Katakuri, they both almost beat Luffy, so that's pretty good. But Katakuri is a much more useful future crew member, I agree. Being the strongest member of the Big Mom Pirates, I would even assume at this point maybe even stronger than Big Mom herself. I'm assuming he's going to get stronger. I assume he will return to the series proper. We'll have to wait and see. But Katakuri moves on. My boy Foxy, goodbye, my friend. All right, round one, Perona versus Vivi. We got Perona, the lady who fought Usopp and lost a battle of negativity. And then you got Vivi, who used to be a villain as well, an undercover villain as Miss Wednesday, who eventually revealed herself to be the Princess of Alabasta. Also, sort of a former member of the Straw Hat crew. Temporarily, she made an alliance with them. I would almost consider Vivi an official Straw Hat Fleet member, but not a full-fledged member just yet. But she was given the invite to join at any point. So it makes sense that you guys voted 69% for Vivi and only 31 for Perona. But I want to say one thing for Perona's sake. Yes, I agree Vivi has a high chance of becoming a Straw Hat, so she's moving on. But Perona would be my choice if Zoro was to marry a character in the series. She nursed him back to health. She and Zoro bonded over 2 years living and training with Hawkeye Mihawk. So I think there's something there. She saw him off after they went back to Sabaody. She could have stayed back at the castle. No, she went and said goodbye to Zoro. We do not know what's going on with Perona. She is also MIA. Last time we saw her, she was off going to find Gecko Moria, a father-like figure. And instead of sticking it out with Hawkeye Mihawk, where she'd probably be better off, it would have been so sick to find out that Perona was part of the Cross Guild. Maybe she'll get saved. My worry is she has either been killed by Blackbeard, if she did go try to save Gecko Moria, or she's been forced into joining Blackbeard's crew, or is just a slave of sorts, kind of like how he's got Kobe trapped as well, and is after Law and his Devil Fruit currently, and his poneglyphs. So he could have collected a group of prisoners, and Perona could be a part of that, and I don't want that. I don't want that for our ghosty gal. I would be fine. I'd be so fine with Perona joining the Straw Hat crew because of her connections with Zoro. It'd be great to see her have conversations. If you're going to put a pink-haired girl on this crew, we do not want, and I'll say it again, Bonnie on this crew. She's a great character. She's just not a Straw Hat. I'll tell you that right here, right now. But Perona, hold on. That laugh, any day. You're bringing the ghost girl on the crew. You're bringing the girl with the Negati ghost. That addition to the crew, finding out about her sad backstory, being adopted essentially by Gecko Moria in a way. I don't know the full story, but I know there's some kind of connection there. I would love for her to join the crew. I would love for her relationship with Zoro to blossom on screen. I don't see it happening. I would more likely see Vivi actually joining the crew. That said, moving on to round one, Kobe versus Kondi Oriano and versus Kuzan. This is the only triple threat round I wanted to throw at you guys. Throw a little wrench into this tournament. I couldn't decide between these three Marines and former Marines who would be a better member of the crew. Kobe, at one point, was sailing with Luffy early on and took off early on, way before the Grand Line. But Kobe does have a connection with the crew. If Kobe decided to roll up on Luffy and be like, I would like to rejoin your crew, Sir Luffy, and he'd be like, okay, come on, Kobe. I've missed you. You were my first kind of crewmate. I could see that happening. I could see Kobe realizing how corrupt the government is just because he's part of SWORD, just because he's trying to fix some things. It might not be enough. Maybe Kobe realizes he'll never become an admiral. And why should he become an admiral to a corrupt world? Maybe he can't make the changes from the inside. Maybe one day it snaps and he officially becomes a pirate. But not a bad pirate. He knows that his boy Luffy's a good yay. He knows there's good pirates out there. Kobe's one of the good ones. Kobe joins the Straw Hat crew. If you're going to have a pink-haired member of the crew, Kobe is my choice out of these three personally. But Kobe only gets a 24%. Kuzan getting a 30%. I could not believe Kuzan only got 30% in this triple threat, where our Con D Oriano at 46% moves on to round 2. Con D Oriano was at one time a member of the crew back at the filler arc G8, which is fan-fucking-tastic. One of the best stories in early One Piece. I absolutely love the G8 filler arc. My favorite filler arc of all time. Highly recommend it if you haven't watched it. Con D Oriano sacrificed himself as a member of the crew to let them get away from G8. I mean, that is some commitment. Their undercover member of the Straw Hat crew made the ultimate sacrifice. And it's good Oda made that decision to write him off so early. But maybe now that they've gone so far into this grand line, as seen in this vote, maybe now Con D Oriano can make a return. Maybe he can escape from the pounds of Sea Prism Stone that they have him locked up behind. He escapes. He joins the Straw Hat crew officially. Now, of course, we're going to have a rivalry between Con D Oriano and Luffy as who's the strongest Straw Hat currently. But that's okay. We love debating that kind of thing. Con D Oriano could come back to the series, become an official member of the series, not just a filler character. I believe in this vote. Con D Oriano moves on. Kobe. Kuzan, a man who's currently part of Blackbeard's crew, who I do believe, and a lot of others believe, is undercover for Sword, or just undercover in general. Maybe Kuzan did quit the Marines, really, and isn't a member of Sword, and really is just trying to take down Blackbeard. And maybe when Blackbeard and Blackbeard's crew, including Kuzan, go toe-to-toe with Luffy and his crew, that's when it happens. That's when Kuzan turns on Blackbeard, does a crazy backflip with ice and whatnot, stabs Blackbeard maybe a couple times, jumps in front of Luffy and says, I'm actually going to join the Straw Hat crew. That could have happened, but no! Con D Oriano moves on. Round 1, Carrot versus Pudding. This was so close. I almost moved them both on, but decided not to. Carrot, I honestly wanted Carrot to be part of the crew more than Yamato, personally. Yes, Yamato's stronger, but I think Carrot never got official, some real time to develop. She got this cutesy moment with Chopper for most of Whole Cake Island. Little brother-sister type of relationship. It was just too much for me. But at the end of that arc, she goes Sulong. We get to see her werewolf type transformation, kicks ace, but then gets her shit kicked in Wano and really doesn't do anything there, and then is gifted the opportunity to be the leader of the minx, and you're just like, how did Carrot earn this? Just because she knew Pedro and Pedro's will? This should not be her job. Carrot should not be the leader of the minx. She's like 16 or 17. She should be on the Straw Hat crew going on adventures. But Carrot loses here in round 1, Pudding, current captive of the Blackbeard Pirates, Pudding, the Three-Eyed Tribe member, Pudding, probably Sanji's future wife. Pudding could join the crew if the Straw Hat crew does end up beating Blackbeard's crew in the current future of the current manga. I could see her going, I don't want to go back to Big Mom. She's crazy. She makes me feel bad about my eye. I want to stay here with you, Sanji. And then Sanji's like, come on. She makes really good food. She makes really good sweets. And then Luffy's like, I'd love a baker. on the crew. We have a cook, now we have a baker, an official baker for the Straw Hat crew. She even has a role on the crew. We all know the crew needs another female character, and I'm fine if it's Pudding. Honestly, she's actually a decent character. She has her gimmick where she pretends to be sweet and everything, but she's actually ruthless as all heck. So she could be kind of a semi-assassin. Maybe she always stays on the crew, doesn't ever need to actually go into battle because she's very important to the world government, or at least to pirates who know about her Third Eye Tribe gimmick where she can read the poneglyphs. Protecting her, being part of the crew, being the official baker and official watchman of the ship when they go on adventures. Perfect role for Pudding. And future wife to Sanji. Maybe they have an official pirate wedding and go back to the, they go back to the damn ship with the family of Sanji on it. Doesn't matter. Maybe Sanji's Chef Zeph walks her down the aisle. Oh, the Baratier. Final Straw Hat Tournament, round 1. Trafalgar Law versus Marco. Marco and Law both made alliances with the Straw Hat crew during Wano. Both assisted and both, made an impact at Wano. Marco being able to hold off both King and Queen at the same time. Law being a big part in defeating Big Mom, the Emperor. Both are very powerful. I would consider Marco probably more powerful in strength because and in the ability to heal. I guess they both are healers. I assume Marco is also somewhat of a doctor since he has the power of the Phoenix fruit and whatnot, and he's a tough SOB as seen at in East Lobby, at Marineford. So either one of them would be a great member of the crew. Marco, personally, being a veteran of the sea, serving directly under Whitebeard, would be a great future member of the Straw Hat crew. But he said to Shanks himself, who also offered him a spot on the red-haired pirate crew, which would have been sick. If Marco joined the red-haired pirates this late into the game, we'd all lose our fucking minds. But Marco said, nah. I'm still young. I still have use of all of my appendages. Shanks. I'm going to go retire protecting Whitebeard's village. I assume he's going to run into Weevil soon. We'll have to wait and see. Law wins this round and moves on. Law could join the crew, but the only way, shape, or form I could ever see Law bending the knee to Luffy and actually joining the Straw Hat crew. I could see the fans wanting Law around 24/7 because he's been around with us for so long now, since Punk Hazard. I could see the fans wanting this, but the only way Law could join is if his entire crew is slaughtered and killed by Blackbeard's crew with what's currently happening in the manga right now. Spoilers. Law moves on. The next round 1 matchup, Bartolomeo versus Boa Hancock. Boa Hancock, the simp of Luffy. Bartolomeo, the simp of the Straw Hat crew. Which one of them should join the crew? If you asked me, I would say Bartolomeo, because he's such a funny character. He's such a good fan of the crew. It's fun to watch his interactions with the crew. Boa Hancock is her own woman. It would be cool to have Boa Hancock be a part of the crew. I don't know if we need another former warlord on the crew, though. I really don't. And she's she's so powerful on her own. She's got the Kuja pirates to be a part of. I could see her making an alliance with the Cross Guild, because they are a group of former warlords of the sea. So I could see that happening. But for right now, Boa Hancock's moving on. If she joined the crew, it would be great, because you'd see Sanji falling all over her. Probably die. Sanji'd probably die if Boa Hancock joined the crew from blood loss. But Bartolomeo would have been a good choice as well. Here we go. Final matchup of round 1. We have Bon Clay and Senor Pink. Bon Clay, my favorite person in this entire list. Bon Clay, Mr. 2, the man, the myth, the legend, the dude that sacrificed himself 2 times for the Straw Hat crew, or for Luffy specifically, and is already a member of the Straw Hat fleet, according to me. At least I feel he has earned that spot at the very least. I just think one last opportunity for him in this series to make a moment is to come back escape Impel Down, find the Straw Hat crew, and join his family. They've been friends since the Alabasta saga. It's time. He saved Luffy and everybody who escaped Impel Down. If anybody deserves to join and come back, who's still alive currently right now in Impel Down, if you did not know, it's him. It's Mr. 2. One of the best characters in the entire Alabasta saga. One of the best characters in the entire Impel Down arc. Bon Clay will be moving on at 81% versus Senior Pink. Senior Pink, another character who was a former opponent of one of the Straw Hat crew members. He went toe-to-toe with Frankie. Mr. 2 went toe-to-toe with Sanji. Both amazing battles that highlighted both opponents' skills and put them both over to the fan base. Senior Pink would be an amazing member of the crew. We all know Senior Pink has a good heart. We all know that Senior Pink is a core member of the Doflamingo crew. Yes, the Doflamingo crew. And you think, well, why would Senior Pink turn on Doflamingo? Maybe Senior Pink escaped Dressrosa. Maybe Senior Pink is on the lam. Maybe they run into Senior Pink at Egghead Island. He does have those diaper bombs. I'm not sure how that helps him, but he's gonna be there. Maybe he needs more diaper bombs. Maybe he needs to restock. We run into Senior Pink. Now without a crew, Frankie and Senior Pink get a drink together. They talk, they cry it out together. They talk about his wife and whatnot, the sad backstory that Senior Pink has. And Frankie's like, you know what? I'm going to use my one card with Luffy. And I'm going to be like, hey, Luffy, my one choice to be a member of this crew, this guy. He's a man's man. Can we get Senior Pink on this crew? And Luffy'd be like, well, what would he do? And he'd be like, well, you should see how hard-boiled he is. And then they'd talk about that. That's why he'd go to... That's why Senior Pink would go to Egghead Island, because he's so hard-boiled. But Bon Clay moves on to round 2. Round 2, match 1, Yamato versus Katakuri. Yamato winning this battle at 73%. Y'all know why she should probably be a Straw Hat member down the line, because of the fake out at Wano. Katakuri, possibly a future leader of the Big Mom Pirates when Big Mom decides to retire. I do believe Big Mom's still alive. I do not believe they'd leave it so vague unless Oda wasn't going to bring her back for the final war. So I do believe Big Mom still exists, but I could see her retiring from being the leader of the Big Mom Pirates, passing it on to the best option, and that is Katakuri. But Katakuri will not be joining the Straw Hat crew. He might end up being in another, he might join the Straw Hat fleet, but not the Straw Hat crew. You have Con D'Oriano losing to Vivi in round 2, match 2. Con D'Oriano cannot be reintroduced to the story, especially after what he did back at G8. It's just not possible. It would just completely throw the power scaling out the window in One Piece. But Vivi, 80%. Oh yeah! Vivi is a legacy character in One Piece. Vivi should have joined in some aspects back in the Dizay. Personally, I'd rather take Nico Robin if I had to choose between the two, but if you can get Vivi too, great. I don't know exactly what role she would play on the ship other than princess, or, well, she's good at playing undercover. She could be the undercover spy member of the crew that goes deep undercover. And also, she probably can bring a lot of money with her too. She's a Straw Hat in my heart, and she's currently missing. So she's gonna rejoin somehow, some way, at least the Straw Hat fleet. She goes on to round 3, the finals. Trafalgar Law versus Pudding. Pudding loses, Law moves on. I don't know. I don't think either of these people would be perfect members of the crew in any way, shape, or form. Law would make sense, again, only if his entire crew abandoned him or were slaughtered, and he got away, and he wanted revenge, and he bends the knee to Luffy, and he says, you will be the Pirate King. Just let me join you on your quest to kill Blackbeard. Because, I mean, really, Law kind of accomplished most of his goals already. He saved Wano. He beat fucking Doflamingo. Things worked out for Law. He's done everything he's wanted to do. Now, he might not become Pirate King, but that's okay. Round 2, Boa Hancock versus Bon Clay. This one was the closest battle. The closest. But Bon Clay edging out a win at 51%. Bon Clay, my choice. My personal choice for Straw Hat. Bon Clay. Boa Hancock might go join the Cross Guild. Boa Hancock might just hang out with her crew and hit the seas. I don't know. She needs to protect the Amazon Lily. She's got to find some kind of emperor to serve. It's either going to be Luffy or Crocodile or Buggy, however you want to look at it. We'll have to wait and see, but she's not joining the crew today. We are now in the finals, folks. The final choice. We have 4 finalists, 4 possible Straw Hat crew members. Who will be the final commander for Luffy in the war coming forth? Let's find out. Yamato at 51%. Trafalgar Law at only an 8%. Vivi Nefertari at 31%. And Bon Clay at 10%. So, according to you guys, the Morphana Maniacs, Yamato is the future final Straw Hat crew member. And I really hope that's not the actual answer. Yamato wins this tournament. Yippee. I don't believe that to be the final answer. I personally, if I had to choose between these 4, I would pick Bon Clay. I think Bon Clay's earned that shiz. I think Bon Clay could make an actual addition to the crew that's not just power related. Law is also a great character, so I can see him being a powerful ally, but at the same time, Law's his own man. Law doesn't need to be technically second to Luffy in any way, shape, or form. Yes, Luffy's an emperor, but Law, they're worth the same right now. I just don't see Law taking orders from Luffy. I mean, most of the crew don't really listen to Luffy all the time anyway, but they do listen to him when he makes a captain's order. And I don't know if Law can bring himself down from... I don't think Law should be brought down from being a captain. So that's why he got 8%. He's a captain of his own crew, and they're kicking ass right now in the manga against the Blackbeard crew. Don't underestimate Law and the Heart Pirates. I have learned that lesson. Bon Clay, I believe, has earned his spot. He's sacrificed himself twice for Luffy and survived both times. He would be a great addition to the combat corps. He used to be a leader of a crew for Baroque Works. He knows how to, be part of a squad, a team. He could be the Mr. 2 of the crew. We could find out his actual bounty. But not Bon Clay. Vivi is more likely than Bon Clay. I think when they rescue Vivi, probably sooner than later in the current saga, I could see Vivi officially denouncing her princess-ship and just joining the crew. And I would be fine with that because I miss Vivi as a character. It's been so long. It's nostalgic. I think they don't need any more powerhouses like Yamato. They have a strong core crew of fighters. Yamato is a good character, and I could truly see her having the same percentage as Vivi as a future Straw Hat. I think the last Straw Hat will probably be a female. I really think it should be Vivi. But Bon Clay, though. Bon Clay, baby. That's my choice. What do you guys think of this tournament? What do you guys think? Who do you guys think will be the final Straw Hat? Who did I miss? Who did I not put into this tournament? Foxy made it into this tournament. And you all just voted him out in round 1. Don't forget to comment down below, like this video, subscribe. I'll talk to you later.